Hey yo, salute to the people. It's the social forecast. Today is Monday, April 15th. Peace and prosperity to the community. I hope everybody does something today to further your goals and to help you realize your dreams. All right, let's get into it. I have something I want to run past y'all. I'm curious about what y'all think about it. There's a police department out in Laguna Beach that is, they've decided to update their police cruisers. So they have like the standard, black and white paint that most police cruisers have, but then the highly reflective police emblem, logo, whatever you want to call it, that usually runs down the side, both sides of police cruisers. It's usually like a bluish, like a lightish bluish color, or I guess depending on the locale it's in. But they've decided to turn that police logo on the sides of their vehicles into the design of the American flag. So it says police, but then it has the red, white, and blue, the stars. You can clearly see it's an American flag. And they're saying, the police department is saying that, this is, us being patriotic. We thought it would be a good look. A lot of the residents approve. A lot of the residents say they look really nice. Some of the residents out there, not a lot and not all, but some of the residents, they're giving some backlash, and now they're requesting a kind of like a town hall or a council meeting to decide if these vehicles should be changed and the American flag should be taken off of these police cruisers. Now, here's the thing. I'm a little conflicted, very, very, very little, but for a different reason. So, are there some people who could make the argument that putting the American flag on the sides of police vehicles can essentially be the same as or have the same symbolism of what the MAGA hats symbolize? And then, as I think to myself about that, I guess my response would be, an articulate enough person could make an argument if they're referring to kind of what the history of the flag, the Star-Spangled Banner, the stars on the flag, historically what that means, as it pertains to brown people in a time in this country when we weren't treated as equal, as human beings, as citizens, as, we were slaves. So if a person is articulate enough and wants to make that argument, in this context, it might be a stretch, but okay, I would hear them out. The argument these residents are making has nothing to do with that. And it's a little bit crazy to me. Curious about what y'all think about it. So, these residents, hold on. These residents some of the residents are saying that, there are people who live in this community who are not from America. There are people who live in this community who came here from other countries, and they might take offense to the fact that these police vehicles have the American flag on it. Hold on. So I think to myself, okay, hold on. The first argument that somebody would make has to do with people who are in this country, but not born Americans of this country, and we're concerned about how they feel about putting the American flag on the side of police vehicles. It immediately takes me to the justifiable arguments that we live in a time where people are just too fucking sensitive. Why do you care? Look, when you go to, if you're into sports and you go to a game, you might be traveling with your team, but you're at an away game, or you're at a home game for the other team. What are you going to see? You're going to see shit that's in line with that home team. You're going to see their team signage. You're going to see team memorabilia as you walk in through that stadium or that arena. You're going to see fans who have on shit that is congruent with that team. players and jerseys and numbers and colors that coincide with the team that is the home team. For a city in an American state in America to have the American flag on the side of their vehicles, to me, is no different, just on the surface, is no different than when you walk into a courtroom and you see the American flag along with the state flag. It's no different than when you walk into public school. See, this is the problem. You can go into public schools, and every building that is publicly funded has an American flag out front. In every public school, there's an American flag out front. So it's okay in certain establishments, certain buildings, certain arenas, certain venues to have the American flag. Every sporting event, they sing the national anthem and the Canadian national anthem. Every single one. And there has never been somebody who says, "Whoa, are we concerned about people who might not be from this country who frequent these sporting events or who go to these different venues, how they might feel by seeing this American flag?" It don't make sense. And then you have some people say, well, when you see these police cruisers in succession, 2, 3, and 4 police cruisers at a time, and they all got the American flag, and they pull up to a scene, because I guess this happened out there. Some people were like, "Oh, yo, what, you know, are these government vehicles? Is this the military? Is this the fuck?" Like, and again, this is me just being surface. This is me just being just in the context of what this article is about. If these residents manage to convince these officials to take the American flag off of these police cruisers, would it officially be safe to say that we've reached a point in this country when you just can't rep the home team ever for anything? Because, and look, I don't subscribe to the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, the American flag, what it stands for, any of that. I'm just talking in a sense of the home team, and everywhere you go, that is represented. You go to any other country, and that's what's going to be represented. We as Americans can't go to England and say, "Yo, we feel offended because everywhere we go over here, we see this and we see that." What? It's one thing to be for all and to want to have equality for all, to make everyone feel comfortable, and this is the great melting pot of the world. Great. But at a certain point, shit just becomes ridiculous. And I'm curious to know what y'all think about it. If you've come across this article, if you live out in Laguna Beach, let me know what I'm missing, if I'm missing something, because this shit is crazy. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. See y'all in the next one. Peace and love.